In a world dominated by men and empires forged by blood and betrayal, one woman rose to the pinnacle of power, defying all odds. Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt, was not just a seductress. She was a master strategist in a deadly game of thrones. But what drove her to risk everything for power? Was it love, ambition, or a desperate bid for survival? As we unravel the layers of her life, secrets will be revealed that challenge everything we thought we knew about her. In a time when loyalty was fleeting and alliances were as fragile as glass, Cleopatra's choices sparked wars and changed the course of history. What were the sacrifices she made, and what ghosts of the past haunted her reign? Prepare to uncover the truth behind Cleopatra's fierce ambition and the cost of power in a world that would ultimately betray her. In the bustling city of Alexandria, a young Cleopatra was born into a world of luxury and political intrigue. Her lineage traced back to Ptolemy, one of Alexander the Great's generals, yet her family's grip on the throne was anything but secure. As she grew, she was educated in the arts of rhetoric, philosophy, and the sciences, mastering languages and politics, preparing for a role that would demand everything from her. The air was thick with ambition, and the shadows of her forebears whispered of the dangers that lay ahead. Cleopatra soon realized that the throne was not a given. It was a battleground, and she would need to wield her intelligence and beauty as weapons. Her early years were marked by the grandeur of the court, but beneath the surface, a storm was brewing. As her father, King Ptolemy XII, struggled to maintain authority, Cleopatra watched the political landscape shift like sand beneath her feet. With every passing year, she understood that power was fleeting, and she was determined not to let it slip away. And this is just where her story begins. Cleopatra's rise would take her through betrayal, war, and alliances that shook the ancient world to its core. If you want to see how this young princess transforms into one of history's most legendary rulers, make sure you like this video and subscribe. The death of King Ptolemy XII set off a chain reaction that would alter the fate of Egypt. Cleopatra, eager to seize her destiny, was thrust into a web of family betrayal and political intrigue. Her brother, Ptolemy XIII, assumed the throne, but their relationship quickly soured. He was a puppet under the control of advisors who sought to undermine Cleopatra's influence. Tensions escalated as the young queen fought to reclaim her rightful place, her strategies unveiling themselves like a well-constructed tapestry. The palace halls echoed with whispered conspiracies as Cleopatra maneuvered through treachery. It was during this tumultuous time that she formed an unlikely alliance with Julius Caesar, a powerful Roman general whose ambition matched her own. Their fateful encounter would not only alter the course of her life, but also the history of two great nations. As Cleopatra walked the tightrope of power, she understood that in this game, the stakes were life and death. The meeting with Julius Caesar in the heart of Alexandria was a pivotal moment for Cleopatra. As she made her entrance wrapped in a luxurious carpet, she embodied both seduction and power. Caesar, intrigued by her boldness, saw in her a potent ally, a means to expand his empire. Their initial conversation crackled with tension. A battle of wits ensued as they measured each other's resolve. Cleopatra spoke of her ambitions for Egypt, her voice smooth yet commanding, while Caesar, ever the strategist, pondered the potential benefits of an alliance. Together, they forged a bond that was as politically advantageous as it was personal. The streets of Alexandria buzzed with speculation as their relationship blossomed into a passionate affair. But Cleopatra knew that love was a luxury she could scarcely afford. With enemies closing in, she had to balance her heart's desires with the cold calculations of power. This alliance with Caesar was a calculated risk, one that could either elevate her to greatness or lead to her undoing. With Caesar's support, Cleopatra reclaimed her throne, and a new era began for Egypt. She co-ruled with her brother Ptolemy XIII, who was increasingly sidelined, his power waning in the shadow of Caesar's influence. Cleopatra, adorned in regal attire, commanded the respect of the court, her presence a blend of fierce authority and captivating allure. Together, she and Caesar envisioned a powerful alliance that could rival Rome's greatest achievements. However, whispers of dissent grew louder. The Roman Senate, wary of Caesar's ambitions, began to question his motives. Cleopatra, ever the astute politician, understood that she was caught in the crosshairs of a brewing storm in Rome. As she navigated these perilous waters, she sought to strengthen her position, rallying support among the Egyptian populace and ensuring her place as a formidable ruler. Yet, in the back of her mind, a lingering fear persisted. Betrayal could come from any direction. Here's the scene with a natural call to action woven in at the end. As Cleopatra consolidated her power, she faced an insatiable thirst for more. The allure of a unified Egypt and Rome was tempting, but it came with a price. Critics within her realm questioned her loyalty to Egypt, fearing that her connection to Caesar would erode their sovereignty. Cleopatra fought to quell dissent, employing her charm and intellect to win over those who opposed her. "Power comes not from the throne alone, but from the hearts of the people," she proclaimed, rallying her allies as she walked through the bustling markets of Alexandria. Yet, her efforts were met with resentment, as some citizens believed she had sold their future to a foreign ruler. As tensions escalated, Cleopatra found herself at a crossroads. To protect her reign, she had to navigate a treacherous landscape of shifting loyalties and hidden agendas. Her resolve to rule Egypt, even amidst growing animosity, served as a testament to her unwavering ambition. Cleopatra stood at the edge of everything she had fought for, and the worst was still to come. If this story has kept you hooked, now is the perfect time to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Every episode brings you deeper into one of history's most gripping sagas, and you won't want to find yourself missing the next chapter. Just as Cleopatra began to stabilize her rule, tragedy struck. Julius Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC, plunging Rome into chaos and leaving Cleopatra vulnerable. The news hit her like a thunderclap. The shockwaves felt across both Egypt and Rome. In this moment of crisis, her heart raced with fear and uncertainty. Would she be abandoned by the very empire she aligned herself with? Caesar's death triggered a power struggle in Rome, pitting her against those who sought to erase her influence. As she grappled with the loss, Cleopatra realized that to survive, she would need to forge a new alliance. The only path forward lay with Mark Antony, one of Caesar's trusted generals, whose ambitions mirrored her own. But aligning with Antony would mean navigating a complex web of political maneuvering, and Cleopatra was acutely aware that her choices would have lasting consequences. Cleopatra's relationship with Mark Antony began as a strategic partnership, a means of survival in a fractured political landscape. Their first meeting was electric. Both leaders recognized the potency of their combined ambitions. Antony, drawn to Cleopatra's intelligence and allure, saw the opportunity to reclaim power in Rome, while Cleopatra viewed him as her best chance to secure Egypt's future. Together, they crafted a new vision for their empire, one that promised strength and stability. Their affair soon blossomed into a passionate romance, a combination of love and political necessity. Cleopatra dazzled Antony with her wit and charm, while he, in turn, lavished her with gifts and promises of loyalty. Yet, as they forged ahead, the world around them grew increasingly hostile. The Senate in Rome, alarmed by their union, rallied against them, branding Cleopatra a foreign seductress and a usurper. Their alliance, once a beacon of hope, began to cast long shadows across both nations. With their combined forces, Cleopatra and Antony marched toward Rome, believing they could reshape the future. As they advanced, they encountered fierce opposition, not only from the Senate, but from within their ranks as well. Tensions rose, and doubts crept into their alliance. Cleopatra's advisors warned her of Antony's growing reliance on her, fearing it could be seen as weakness. Yet, Cleopatra remained resolute, convinced that together they could withstand the storm. The streets of Rome buzzed with whispers of their impending arrival, the populace torn between fear and fascination. As Antony prepared for battle, Cleopatra stood by him, her heart filled with hope and trepidation. She knew that this march was more than just a quest for power. It was a test of their bond, a final gamble in their grand strategy. But as they approached the gates of Rome, the reality of their situation loomed large. Success would mean glory, but failure could lead to their destruction. The decisive clash at Actium became a turning point, with Cleopatra and Antony facing off against Octavian's forces. The naval battle raged, chaotic and tumultuous, as ships collided amidst the roar of cannon fire. Cleopatra watched from her flagship, anxiety twisting in her gut as she observed the toll of war. Antony fought valiantly, but the tides were against them. Ultimately, their forces were outmaneuvered, and defeat loomed like a dark specter. Cleopatra, feeling the walls closing in, made a fateful decision to retreat. As they fled the battlefield, the realization of their impending doom hung heavy in the air. The loss at Actium not only shattered their dreams of a unified empire, but also marked the beginning of the end for both leaders. Cleopatra's heart sank as she understood the gravity of failure. The world they had sought to build was crumbling around them, and their enemies were poised to strike. As defeat settled upon them, Cleopatra and Antony retreated to Alexandria, their dreams dashed against the rocks of failure. The city, once a symbol of strength, now felt like a gilded cage, its beauty marred by impending doom. Cleopatra's mind raced with thoughts of betrayal and abandonment. She knew that their enemies were closing in. The Senate in Rome rallied to denounce them, branding Cleopatra a manipulative siren who had led Antony astray. As Roman forces threatened Alexandria, Cleopatra became acutely aware that her reign was on the brink of collapse. Desperation turned to paranoia as she sought to secure her legacy. In hushed meetings with trusted advisors, she devised plans for escape, each option more perilous than the last. Yet, even as her options dwindled, her fierce spirit remained unbroken. Cleopatra was determined to go down fighting. She refused to let her story end in defeat. With Roman forces advancing, Cleopatra and Antony made their final stand in Alexandria. The city that had once been their sanctuary now felt like a battlefield. As the gates were breached, chaos erupted. Cleopatra fought fiercely, rallying her loyal supporters, her voice rising above the clamor of war. Yet, the odds were insurmountable. Antony, driven by both love and desperation, sought to protect her to the last. Their bond, once a source of strength, now faced the ultimate test. The world outside crumbled, and betrayal lurked in every corner. Cleopatra's heart ached as she watched her empire unravel, the dreams of unity and power slipping through her fingers like sand. In the heat of battle, she made a choice that would forever seal her fate. She would not be taken captive, nor would she allow her legacy to be tarnished by defeat. In a final act of defiance, Cleopatra prepared to embrace her destiny on her own terms. In the aftermath of the chaos, Cleopatra found herself face to face with her own mortality. The weight of her choices pressed heavily upon her as she made her way to her private chambers, a sanctuary now steeped in sorrow. There, surrounded by the remnants of her once great empire, she contemplated her life and the legacy she would leave behind. The echoes of laughter and joy that had once filled her halls were replaced by the haunting silence of defeat. Cleopatra understood that she could not allow herself to be paraded as a prisoner of Rome. In a final act of defiance, she chose to embrace death rather than face humiliation. With the venom of an asp, she sealed her fate, believing that this was the only way to reclaim her power in the afterlife. As the poison coursed through her veins, Cleopatra felt an eerie calm. She would not be remembered as a defeated queen, but as a ruler who dared to challenge the world. Cleopatra's tragic end marked not just the fall of a queen, but the closing chapter of an era. Her life became a canvas, painted with the colors of ambition, love, and ultimately, betrayal. In the years that followed, historians and poets would romanticize her story, depicting her as a seductress who lured men to their doom. Yet, beneath the layers of myth lay the truth of a ruler who navigated a treacherous political landscape with unparalleled intelligence and tenacity. Cleopatra's legacy endured, echoing through the annals of history. She became a symbol of power and femininity, challenging the notion that a woman's ambition could only lead to downfall. Her life inspired countless tales, her story immortalized in art, literature, and film. Cleopatra's risk for power ultimately reshaped the world, her indomitable spirit serving as a reminder that true strength often lies in the heart's desire for greatness. As we reflect on Cleopatra's journey, we see the complexities of power intertwined with human emotion. Her life was a testament to the sacrifices made in the pursuit of greatness. Cleopatra risked everything, not just her throne, but her heart and soul, driven by a desire to leave an indelible mark on history. Each of her choices was a double-edged sword, cutting through the fabric of her existence, leaving behind a legacy that remains shrouded in mystery. The allure of power can be intoxicating, but it often comes at a steep price. Cleopatra's story teaches us that ambition can lead to both glory and ruin. As we navigate our paths, we must ask ourselves, how far are we willing to go for power, and what are we willing to sacrifice? The echoes of Cleopatra remind us that the pursuit of power is a delicate dance, one that requires not just courage but a profound understanding of its implications. Cleopatra's life continues to captivate imaginations, her story a blend of fact and fiction. Historians and scholars have pored over ancient texts, piecing together her narrative, yet many questions remain unanswered. What drove her to risk everything? Was it love, ambition, or the sheer will to survive? The mystery of her life invites us to explore the complexities of human nature, the nuances of power, and the intricate web of relationships that define our existence. As we peel back the layers of her history, we uncover the myriad ways in which she defied expectations, challenging the norms of her time. Cleopatra was more than just a queen. She was a woman who danced precariously on the edge of power, and her story serves as a mirror reflecting our own desires and fears. The enduring mystery of her life beckons us to question the nature of power itself. As we bring this exploration of Cleopatra's life to a close, we invite you to remember her not just as a historical figure, but as a symbol of the relentless pursuit of power and identity. Cleopatra's story transcends time, reminding us that the quest for power often comes with sacrifices, heartaches, and profound revelations. Let her journey inspire us to seek our own paths with courage and conviction. As we reflect on the lessons of her life, let us acknowledge the strength it takes to defy the odds and the legacy we can create through our choices. If you found this deep dive into Cleopatra's life illuminating, be sure to like and subscribe for more intriguing explorations of history's most fascinating figures. Your support helps us continue to bring these stories to life. In the end, Cleopatra remains a beacon of ambition, a cautionary tale about the complexities of power and the human spirit. Her life embodies the struggle for identity, the quest for love, and the harsh realities of political maneuvering. As we ponder her legacy, let us take with us the understanding that true strength lies not just in the pursuit of power, but in the wisdom to know when to wield it and when to let it go. Cleopatra's life was not just a story of a queen. It was a narrative woven from the threads of resilience, passion, and the pursuit of greatness. As we close this chapter on her remarkable journey, let us carry her lessons with us, inspiring our own pursuits with the knowledge that every choice we make shapes the future. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more captivating historical narratives. Thank you for joining us.